here is our orientation video. I've logged in as a student so that my view will be the same as your view. And when you log in, immediately there are some wonderful features for you. The first is, all the way down this side, you can view the announcements right from this screen, or edit your personal information, or see a calendar, or send email to anyone or everyone in the class. And you can look at your grades from here too. Those are the most important ones that I want to talk about. But you can also personalize your page. If you need to make brighter text or add more contrast, that can happen there too. And up here at the top, you see a global navigation pane too. And that can do all kinds of things. It can show you everything that you've posted. It can show you updates. It can show you your grades, also a calendar, and the people in your class. This is kind of fun. So I'm going to click people in my class, and you will see the people that have posted their picture that I communicate with in Blackboard. And it's only in Blackboard that I communicate with them. And you will also see that Emily has chosen not to put a picture of herself. She's one of the students in this class, but she's chosen a icon or a clip art thing. All right. Somebody else has chosen to do that, and maybe it's Michelle might have a Voki, which would talk, and Monique, etc. You can do those things. That's your choice. I won't make you put in a picture, but I certainly would like you to put in a picture, because that helps us to have a community of learners, and also to put in information about yourself, so that if I'm looking at your journal or any other place in the Blackboard environment, I know exactly who you are and what you teach. So please consider that. And if you have trouble putting up pictures, ask someone who posts to Facebook, etc., or a kid in the neighborhood to help you. It's really quite wonderful when you post a response in the discussion board to see that who that person is. And maybe it doesn't matter when you're all from the same institution, but it certainly will matter when you have students that you don't know. It'll help you to know who they are. It'll help build a community of learners. So now, how do you do that? Well, you go here, and then you go over to the blank picture, and then hit the blank picture one more time. And it asks you to give your primary email address. So I'll put in one. Because this is for a student that doesn't exist, I'll put in an email address that doesn't exist. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just cancel that. But you need to know that I write to you through the email address you record. So you're going to want to do that. And it won't even let me in, I see, unless I put in that email address. What you need to know is that you are able to upload a picture of yourself once you do that, and to write about yourself. Quite easy. Okay. So I'm going to cancel that. And I'm going to go into our course. You will only have one option. When I go into the course, we see the announcement. Please get in the habit of reading the announcement. It will stay there for about a week, unless there is a problem that I need to report to you. But always look at the announcement. I'll try to change the way the announcement looks so that you'll know something new is there. Now, let's look at the main menu bar. This is very important for navigation throughout the course. Each of these buttons has important information for you. In the course information, you will find many videos like the one I'm creating here that tell you how to do things. If you get stuck, go to those videos. Go to course information, scroll down to Blackboard Help, I think it's called, or Blackboard Options, and you'll find very descriptive videos. If you get stuck, you can write to our support faculty right through this button, and you can expect that they will get back to you within 24 to 48 hours, which seems like a long time, but probably they'll get back to you before then. And it also details that you need to leave your name, the number of your course, whether you are in the Ferris course 1 or 2, and your email address and a phone number in case they have to call you back. And then comes the heart of the entire course, which is the weekly coursework. And when you click on that, it really tells you exactly what you have to do. So you never have to worry, have I done all that was expected? Because there's an assignment checklist right here. I'm not going to open it, but when you do open it, you want to open it in a new window. And it will say, number 1, do this, and it'll tell you where to find this, what folder it's in. It'll give you a path to each thing, and every week has a checklist that will help you know whether you've done what is expected. You can also, when you finish that, mark it as reviewed, which I already did, and that way, if you get distracted, you can come back and say, oh, well, look, it's got a check by it. I've already done that. I need to scroll down and do something else. Right under the weekly coursework, your Bible, is a self-paced module that has to do with Americans with Disability Law, FERPA law, and copyright law. And your college expects that you know this, and there are assignments to go with it, but it's all independent work and not within the weeks that we have class. You need to decide when you're going to finish it within the course format. It's all up to you. Then comes the heart of the course, which is the discussion board. We're going to go there in just a moment. I want you to know that you can also get through to your grades and tools and even find your journal through this button. The journal, by the way, is private communication between you and your facilitator, me, Carol Redline. And you can say whatever you need to say, and I will respond to you in that journal. I want to know when you're happy, when you're sad, when you've got a problem, and that's a good place for us to talk. So don't suffer in silence. Write in your journal, or don't celebrate in silence. Write in your journal. And some of these things are duplicates. You can get support information here also, and you can get email information there as well. But when you go into the discussion board, which we're going to do right now, that's the main place where you're going to be communicating. You might want to see the whole discussion board so you can close it so that it's easy for you to see. And here's the way I manage the discussion board. There are 3 posts and 3 posts that I haven't read. And there are only 2 people, well, we just got started. So if I want to read what I haven't already read, I click this, and it gives me everything I haven't already read. The tricky part about this is it doesn't necessarily list them in reply order. So if Patty has written here, and I haven't seen this yet, but when I reply to her, it might not have me right under her. So that's why I ask you to always address your audience, Dear All, or Dear Carol, or Dear Mary, or whatever, and then sign your name. Even though her picture's here and I can read and tell more about Patty, I still think it's polite to say Dear Carol or whoever you're addressing, because sometimes you're answering somebody's thread and they don't know who you're talking to, or the whole audience doesn't know who you're talking to. So you might say, Dear Patty, when you said blah, 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 it made me think about so-and-so. And then there's no question as to where that response came from. You can also then mark these as read. You click them like this, and you can mark them as you go. And if you do that, you can choose to mark them as read. And then when you follow the cookie crumb trail where you've been and go back to the discussion board, you will now see that you have no unread posts. So it's a good idea to do that. But let's look at it another way. This is an interesting way at the beginning of the week. You want to expand all of these. And this one says you can collect them. I'm looking for expand thread. So when you go into a particular discussion, and here are Emily and I talking to each other, you should choose to expand all the messages that have to do with this post. And that way, when you scroll down, you will see the replies that are there to Emily. And you have the same option to mark them and mark them red. Or you can collapse them and you can see Emily, Carol, Patty, their main threads. If a lot of people have answered a thread, let me go to Patty's thread and I'll show you what I mean. Hello, I'm Patty. New to Ferris, new to Blackboard, new to the discussion board, never having taken an online course. Perhaps I clicked on the wrong place, but one must begin somewhere. Looking forward to it, which is exactly the right attitude. If I keep my cursor at the bottom of her page, I can reply to her. And I might want to change this. Carol answers, or, so we know what's going on here. Introduction, Carol answers, or whatever. Sometimes I forget to do that. But I can say, Patty, you've done exactly the right thing. You're taking this with a grain of salt. You're relaxed, and that's exactly the right way to go. If I write and want to edit what I've written, I need to go, well, let me write something so I can show you. This is a real-time thing here. Patty, your attitude is exactly right. I am here to help. How about that? Your colleagues can help too. And then I can post that. It's good to be new to all this stuff, and you never, ever get bored. Here's where submit is, okay? So now I have an answer to her. If I want to edit that answer, it doesn't look like I can, but I can if I hold my hand down on the bottom of the screen. An edit option comes up. Okay, you're going to just have to take my word for this because I'm logged in as a student and this post was written by Carol, so I can't edit it. But if it's your own post, you initially don't see where to edit, but if you hold your mouse down here or pointer or clicker or whatever, edit will come up. But then the tricky thing is you have to still scroll down farther to edit. Sorry, I can't show that to you better because I'm logged in as. Okay, now I can use this cookie crumb trail to take me back to wherever I've been. And oh my goodness, look, the menu bar is missing. Remember this little trick? Now it's back. Okay, let's go into some weekly coursework and talk about what you'll need to do. Let's go into week 2 because there's more options there. I have already marked that this is reviewed. I have taken this document. Guess maybe I should open one for you. I'll right click on it and open the link in a new window. And I'm going to open it this way and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. In this particular assignment, it tells you that you have to do Portfolio 1-2, which is in the Week 2 folder under Basic Instructional Principles. You see how it tells you that? And you can mark when it's done. So let's see if I can go back and find Week 2 Basic Instructional Principles. When I close that document, because it was opened in a new window, it takes you right back to Blackboard. But if you forgot to do that, you can actually go down to the windows, right like that, at the bottom of your screen, the ones that you've had open. So that's part of the navigation tricks. But I said I was going to go into weekly coursework. Here we are, and I was going to scroll down to, what did I say? Instructional design principles, because I'm going to find a portfolio assignment there. I'm also going to find Soft Chalk, which is a wonderful animated lesson. Soft Chalks always are. Notice that your textbook reading is optional. Optional means optional. Your journal is so important to me. I hope you will do it. How to view assignment feedback from your instructor, a great video that'll help you. And here's the portfolio design. What you'll do again is right-click to open this in a new window and save it to your computer, either on the desktop or in the documents, hopefully in a folder that you've labeled Coat. Once you've done that, you've written on the assignment and done what you're supposed to, you have to send it to the grade book. You can't email it to me. Please, please, please don't do that, because you won't get it graded. And to do that, you go to the underlined words above where you found that portfolio assignment or whatever document. And when you click on that, it prompts you to open and download your assignment. And I had actually done that already. It will give you the instructions as to what to do, and all you've got to do is navigate to where you put the assignment and submit it. Always scroll down all the way to the word submit. So really what you need to know is that the assignments are here. Right-click to open them in a new window, complete them, and save them to your desktop or to My Docs or any folder that you've created called Coat, and there are directions for doing that also in our tutorials. And then above the assignment is where you go, and it will tell you how to submit your assignment to the gradebook. It's the same as adding an attachment to an email. It is not difficult to do. Here's a hot tip for you. You don't have to do all the portfolio assignments. It tells you in our schedule how many you have to do, and it has varied from class to class, so I'm not going to say what that is at the moment. But there are people that do them as we go along, and those are the very fortunate, happy people, because if you wait till the end, you will find yourself playing catch up in a very miserable way. Don't let that happen to you. The first portfolios are the easiest. Toward the end of the course, you've got so much to do. You do not want to be completing a bunch of portfolios all at the same time. Complete them as you go along, and then if you have some that you can skip toward the end of the course, you're in a better position than if you try to do them all at once. That's a huge tip. Please don't get caught. One more tip. As you travel through our course, you will come across many great resources that you may want to share with your colleagues or your students or friends, relatives, whatever. When you find something you really like, begin to save it. If it's a website, it's easy to copy the address line and put it in a Word document. And you should say what the website is and why in a couple words you chose it. Because guess what? At the end of the course, you'll be asked to share in a wiki of 5 sites that you thought were the most important resources. If you collect them as you go, you will also be in a very happy position instead of, again, being in the position to play catch up. One other extremely important idea. In that discussion board, you will want to be active in the discussion board on 3 different days of the week. Now, that doesn't mean just posting, I agree with you. We won't even accept that. We have a rubric which you will see. You are to further the discussion of at least 2 colleagues and show your presence on 3 different days of the week. You cannot complete this course on Friday or Saturday. It's better to log in often for a brief period of time than to log in once for a long period of time. You will get less points if you log in at the end of the week, because that's not encouraging people to respond to you. and it's very important in this course that you use the discussion board, even if you hate it, because that's where all your points come from, or most of them, but also that you do it early in the week and stay connected. 3 days of the week to at least your initial post and 2 colleagues. I look for that very carefully when I'm grading the discussion board. In week 5, we're going to do some small group work. So we're going to divide into teams. Probably each class will have 2 teams. And just exactly what's expected in that group work always causes people a great deal of consternation, although it doesn't need to. I will offer an Adobe Connect time when I'm talking with you about exactly what expectations are, and when you can, at that time, choose the role that you will play in the group. If you can possibly come for that orientation to the week 5 group work. By the way, we'll do that orientation in the middle of week 4, so we're ready to get off and moving in week 5. You will be very much better positioned than if you can't. However, all synchronous opportunities in this course are all optional. Just kind of hope you can come. And there's just one more thing that I need to tell you, and that is that this course is a course where we're going to try to model how to make a safe learning environment where everyone is respectful of each other and kind to each other and relaxed with each other, and therefore you have nothing to worry about. I'll help you along the way, your colleagues will help you along the way, and you will find if you relax, you can enjoy this ride, which is COAT. Best wishes to you. Hope you enjoy the course as much as I will enjoy working with you.